Hello, everyone. It is December 2nd, and welcome to the stream. It has been too long since we've actually done a stream, and by too long, I mean it's been the same amount of time that it's always been, but it's felt like a long time to me. Very, very, very sad that that time passes. I hate that, because when time passes, that means you either have to get out of bed or go to work, and that's the worst. Usually the worst. Mainly because currently at work, which I don't like talking about my job much, just from the nature of it. But generally, I'm just, at least now, we're just waiting for requests to come in for us to just do. And the thing is that for the last couple weeks, it has been the slowest time as I fix my disheveled hair. I look all gross and whatever. I really need to shave my beard. Everything's a mess. But anyway, at this job of mine, I mainly wait for things to just happen to me now. I mean, I've been learning things. I've been trying to get better at the work that I'm supposed to do when there's no work to practice on and learn things from. It's a whole to do. But anyway, my job it's been really slow, and so there's times where I get to just listen to podcasts or watch a video or something, and that's fine. It's just sometimes you can only do that too much, and there are other times where you just don't know what to do, and that's really rough for me. It's terrible. I hate it, which is why streaming is actually a lot of fun, because it's something active I can do, something that is a lot of fun, and something I just cherish, honestly, at this point. Having a lot of fun doing it, even though a lot of things have been changing, because I haven't even been living here for a year. So me and my wife have moved here. I'm not going to specifically say where, obviously, but gosh, it's been so weird this past year. Just moving here, and we live with a group of friends, which is awesome because we all knew each other from college, and it's just been fun. It has just been fun, and I got a new job. Just learn all sorts of things, and then I have time, a lot more time, especially with my schedule, because I work 4 days and I have 3 days off, and so I'm like, I want to start streaming. I've wanted to do it for a while. I more or less have what I need technologically. As I've talked about all of this over the course of many streams, but I've slowly put together, a semi-functioning stream, and that's awesome. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting better. Things are getting better. The technology is getting better, which is part of the reason why this last week was so stressful, because I got some new computer parts, which is awesome. Not stressful, except for when I open up the computer and then I feel like I forget everything about computers, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to move anything. Putting in a new processor is always the most stressful thing. But let me tell you, this new processor for my computer is glorious. And everything is running really well. The only problem that came in was I also had to switch out the motherboard, and the motherboard is like, hey, where's your Windows activation key, bro? And I'm like, dang it, why don't I use Linux? And I would if it supported every single function and the thing I'm going to use. My wife smiles at me sometimes, and she sends me, love and stuff, and it's distracting. Stop being so cute over there. You gotta stop it. You cut it out. My poor wife, she puts up with me, not puts up with me, she'd be mad if I said that, but she so lovingly cares about my ambitions and my ridiculous hobbies that she will allow me most of the room as she does her own thing over there, and as you've seen, she comes in and out and whatnot. But at some point, maybe we'll get our own place. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we have a pretty sweet deal going on here right now, so it's not a bad thing at all. It's just we only have really one room for space to be doing things currently, and so it just makes it a little bit more fun, and you get to play around with things, which is funny because back to the CPU processor stress. My last CPU was probably from like 2012, and when I originally started streaming, I was just doing everything on that. I didn't have a stream PC to run the stream through. Garbage, a total mess. Astroneer, the first gameplay with my brother, was just unusable. Like the recording is just like is 0 frames. Like you'll get a frame every like 10-15 seconds. Like it was garbage. And I hated it. cobbled together a PC for my old job, which were given to me. Again, which is the wonders of working in IT. You get to kind of get stuff together from old junk that the job doesn't want to use. And that has been the stream PC and is working wonderfully. I've also replaced the shaky table, as I've joked about having earthquakes. I mean, I'll still get a shake if I shake this table. But before, oh my goodness, I was on a table I was borrowing from my friend, and my goodness, it was one of those tables where the legs fold out. And I was just scared I was going to have these beautiful monitors that we recently bought just cave right in. It was just the most horrifying thing when the table would shake. I thought, gosh, I was going to destroy some really expensive monitors. And so I've put a good amount of money into some of these things. And this old CPU, again, this thing from 2012, it would, like, literally running the game, the stream, and trying to do the recording on it all at once, it would heat up the room. Like, the computer would overheat. Like, me and my wife would be sweating. Like, it would be bad. Definitely adding the stream PC helped that. Because this is, like, it's been 2 months. I would say 2 months since I started streaming, more or less. And I've been loving it, and it's been great. And I'm again, always excited and pumped about it. But it's just so funny, like, how much, like, progress and, like, things have come together since that time, because we're not sweating anymore. We again, this new CPU with it's a Ryzen 2700X with the giant cooler on it. Like, thing's amazing and glowing and spinning and doing all its things down there. But again, whisper quiet compared to, again, some of my early videos just had fan noises. Like, it was just a low, it was slightly audible. It wasn't like huge, but it was still annoying for anyone who cares. Just this annoying hum, and it was terrible. And that was a tragedy. I'm moving my microphone. I'm never sure on the distance to have this sucker going. But it was rough. It was loud. It made the room hot, and it was tough. And so this last week, I pulled everything apart again. I usually get stressed just because it's like, put a lot of money into these parts, and if I bend a pin or if I ruin something, then it's gonna be a real big deal, and you have to try to return things, do whatever, do what have you. And that would just not be fun. It would not be fun at all. But everything came together, booted right up. Like, honestly, had like almost zero problems. Which, if I'm saying that now, when I first installed everything, closed it up, booted perfectly. It's just my CPU while idling was like at 80 degrees Celsius, and I'm like, that is wrong, sir. You are wrong. That should not be happening. And it took me a while. I was like, all the things are right. There's no plastic left on, like, the processor or the fan itself or anything. None of that. Everything should be fine. But I actually got in closer, because this thing takes up like the cooler takes up a lot of space. And I was just trying to look around it, because this obviously my case isn't even that big either. But the fan, for some reason, I had latched on both the little metal, like, they attach to a bracket. There's just little metal arms or whatever. I had it all attached, but for some reason the fan was actually, if this is the CPU that's on the motherboard, the fan was like that. Like, it was not laying perfectly. You understand this, right? It wasn't perfectly laying flat, and so it was like just burning up for no apparent reason. But now that it's combined, we're good. All that thermal paste is juicing it up. That's what people say, juicing it up. All that thermal paste is there, and it is running like a dream. There's less heat than before, because we're not playing games from 2019 on a CPU from 2012 that is choking and dying at every turn. So glad it is working really well. And so that has just changed a handful of things. I mean, I would like to do something about the stream PC at this point. We will get to that. That is on the list, but there's a lot of things on the list. And this is, again, a hobby stream. We're just here to chill. We're just here to relax. Again, I have friends pop in and out. I'm fine with new viewers coming in. Totally awesome. But, like, it is not meant to be hardcore. We're chill here. That's chill. Which is why all we ever play is Resident Evil, because no one cares. It's great, and I love it. That was not a defensive accusation. But But as well, another thing that I'm remembering now to talk about is again that table I replaced. This is how I get to topics. I'm mainly like a not so much a ping pong. I'm a pinball machine more than anything. I will hit a topic, but I'm gonna jump right off of it, and then we'll get back there. Eventually, you might get a multiplier. You might get multiple stories that'll get queued up, but it's all kind of in a priority queue, is what it is. So again, if anyone took computer science, or if you just understand how lines work, a priority queue is literally everything just gets into order and will go to the thing in order unless something else takes priority. Then I will derail everything to get to that new story, and then we'll make it back to everything else. Science. Tables, that's what we're talking about. Tables. This is the best stream ever. We're talking about tables. That's all you ever wanted to hear about. I know it. Tables, and my squeaky funny chair here. Tables. This table is good. It's solid. Got it from IKEA. Again, like I said, that other table was fold-out table, kind of wobbly. It scared me a lot. There was a carpet underneath it, and a whole set of whatnot going on, and so we reorganized the room. There's no carpet underneath me now. It's all just the hard laminate floor. And now I have the stream PC to my right, because it was really, everything was makeshift, and it was just sitting to my right for a long time. It was like in the middle of the room here. Me and my wife are actually making a great use of the space we have. We're doing really, really good. But I just had it sitting in the middle of the room, and there wasn't a lot of space. Like the only space underneath the table was for my other PC. Now I have both PCs under there, and my monitors are like, I think they're like 27-inch, something absurd. They're just big and really, really, really good monitors. But the main issue is just that I can't fit another monitor up here. And I'm not planning on mounting anything on the wall above me here anytime soon. So what I'm doing right now is it's under the table. And that is what peak performance looks like. It literally just it looks really absurd is what it is. Let's just see if we can take a picture of that. That's just great. Yeah, this is my life right here. I don't think I'm disclosing any high amount of information in this at all, other than the fact that this is, yeah, you can't even see the screen, but that is what that looks like. This is just a vertical monitor, my monitor in a vertical position, just chilling under the table, and I love it. It's the best. It is the best way to actually stream. No lie. Your monitor should always be at your feet. You want to have the risk of kicking it at every point during the stream. That is it. Shameless use of chapstick. If anyone has a nervous tick about anything, it is me and chapstick. Not gonna lie. It has been an issue since probably since middle school, since I played trumpet. I played trumpet throughout middle school and high school, a little bit in college. Never been that great. But what I did gain was chapped lips for like my entire life. The only thing that ever makes me feel better is just needlessly applying tons of chapstick. And I'm sure there are some people out there who can agree with me. Probably not everyone. Definitely not everyone. But definitely that is me. So yeah, stream PC, gaming PC, all underneath the table. Monitor also underneath the table. Again, peak performance. This is everything you need to know about streaming. Just put it underneath. Just get it under there. Also, you always want to have ready your throttle stick. It's got to be within reach. That thing hasn't been plugged in for like 5 months. I play a lot of Elite Dangerous, and by a lot I mean maybe like a year ago. They keep coming out with cool new updates, and I jump in like every once in a while, but I haven't gotten back to it. I need to. I play a lot of games. I want to play a lot of games in the stream, but we only have time for Resident Evil. That's all we have time for ever. Okay, so let me defend myself to all the people on the internet. This is my stream, number one. This is my property, okay? I get to do this, so screw you, anyone who says I play too much of one video game. Second of all, we have a second viewer now, so screw you guys. No, We here at the Res 501MK stream, we generally like to just screw around. Okay, that is what it is. So we are playing lots of Resident Evil. Why are we playing lots of Resident Evil? Because number one, it's fun. Number two, I'm awesome. I don't know, not really. Not really awesome. But what I can say is that this game is awesome. I love playing it. And there's a second storyline, and I just kind of want to talk about, and which is mainly the reason why I made this show, quote unquote show. It's not very well written show, if you will. But the main reason that I'm doing retros, remakes, and remasters, a la frickin', I will always invoke the name of Guy Fieri, is because I like old games, and I love the fact that a lot of them are being, remade or remastered, what have you. But the fact that like we've come so far to really love something that was really cheesy or really bad almost by today's standards, but it is so popular that it's just kind of lived on is brilliant to me. I kind of really love that. So tonight, to be done with talking for a good 20 minutes about all the sorts of things you didn't care about, tonight we're gonna start Claire's story, kind of like I did with Resident Evil 1 and Chris. We're going to start Claire's story. I don't know if I'll finish it on stream. I very well might. But at least for tonight, I just wanted to just talk about this game and talk about... I mean, I feel like I've said this before, but I do kind of just want to talk a little bit more about what I've loved about this game and how it's kind of, changed over the course of time. Resident Evil is honestly probably one of the more interesting games to talk about on this show just because of how much is being revisited, about how much is going on with it today, as opposed to in 1998. And it's just amazing how far it's come and like how it's still doing really well, because I feel like lots of people had really low expectations since Resident Evil 6, because Resident Evil 6 wasn't as good for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people didn't even like Resident Evil 5. I had fun with it, but they don't feel as much like Resident Evil games, other than the fact that it's Resident Evil characters and Resident Evil topics. But it's just great. It's just glorious. All right. Anywho, I'm gonna jabber a little bit less, and we're gonna start with Claire's story. So it's a different nightmare that awaits Claire Redfield, who is unaware of just how drastically her very ordinary life is about to change, because she is She is the sister of Chris Redfield, who we played as in the first game. And that's awesome because Chris is like the titular character of all of Resident Evil, man. He is the best. He is a beast. He will punch rocks. He is the man. And we're gonna drink some water because I'm talking too much. Are we not getting audio? Are we not getting audio into the... Are we not getting desktop audio? Are you kidding me? Savages, all of you. How dare you. I am going to behead my own computer. What is going on here? Okay, let's figure this sucker out. This is... yeah, what? I had this happen, I think, last week, actually. Did I not? Something went wrong. And then I had to fix it. And I don't like when the things go wrong. That's not fun. Gosh, every time it's the... Oh, is this because it's on default now? Try that. Try that on for size. Alright, give us something here. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many drinks did you have? No, man, I barely had a buzz on. Oh, come on. Look, just listen, all right? She got closer, and I got a good look at her. You had to see her eyes, her nose, her whole face. It looked like it was rotting. Yeah. She looked like a corpse. Like a walking corpse, man.
Walking corpse, man, bro.
I've never seen anything like it. I haven't been able to sleep since that night. All right, calm down, buddy. Calm down. Just, hey, you got to stay strong, okay? Don't give in to fear out there, right? Yeah, well, you got that right. If you freeze up around these things, it'll sink their teeth in you. I should attack somebody.
Oh, come on. It's just getting good.
question. How far away from Raccoon City did this guy see zombies? My real question. Not so much the trucker, the guy on the radio. Also, is that the same chick? I was just talking about you. Jeez. This game is honestly rather graphic, and it's kind of fun. And kind of gross. And we have seen this before. I could probably skip this, but I think honestly, so I can talk a lot about the opening cutscenes if you wanted me to go on and on about it, but
What do I do?
Resident Evil.
What am I gonna do?
I mean, I don't want to try and talk over it. I could make myself louder. That would be too difficult. Oh, we haven't seen this before. What? Do women normally wear those kind of jackets?
Yeah, I'm almost there.
With harpies in the back?
You know me, I'll be fine. Sounds good. I'll be back as soon as I find Chris.
Everyone stops for gas. Same place.
I gotta go.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, she have a Bluetooth?
I
Because
think I'm gonna get in trouble.
this is 98. Oh, that's also a poor line to
What the?
say.
Hello?
Alright, so if this goes anything like my playthrough with Leon. Oh, I own a gun. Cool. If this goes like anything like my playthrough with Leon, we are going to be in a lot of trouble because I'm just going to die over and over again. But his Jeep isn't here. So it's not going to be one for one exactly the same story, just different perspectives. It'll be much like the first game where we will basically do everything Leon did, and we'll just be
Anybody here?
in slightly different spaces. So the interesting thing about those cutscenes is that Resident Evil is generally kind of
Hello?
not intentionally comedic, but it does kind of play on this idea of like silly, almost. Oh, I like how she clenches a little bit more than Leon does. I like the idea, or Resident Evil is kind of hokey. Like it's kind of like tongue in cheek with some of its things, with some of its themes, and some of like the horrors that they
Wait here.
that they show.
I'll check it out.
Just with the fact it's like giant snakes and zombies and other giant creatures, and it's all these, you know, silly puzzles and things. Whereas this game actually adds like a little bit more realism, like the cutscenes, while not being pixelated, and as well adding more things like this, way more dramatic graphic stuff. Good gravy.
Don't come any closer! What the fuck? Get the fuck up!
Wow, that was all my bullets. Dang. Oh. It's gonna be a bad one, kids. One would expect me to be better at this by now. But also, yeah, only 5 bullets. And they said Claire had it easier. Oh.
It's like a nightmare.
Oh wow. They showed him walk right up.
Don't shoot!
Get down!
So they did that the same way.
We gotta get out of here.
You alright?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
I like that Claire already had a gun. And I wonder if that's...
Really should.
Because Leon's gonna be a cop. But I do enjoy the idea that, I guess just being Chris's sister, she's also into being, you know, protecting herself.
Get in! Hold on.
hell is going on?
I don't know. Hopefully they'll have some answers at the police station.
Wait, you're a cop?
Yeah, Leon Kennedy. You are?
So, again, about the storyline in this game. So,
Around here?
at one
No.
point we meet,
Looking for my brother.
as Leon anyway,
He's a cop too.
we met this guy whose
Good thing we found each
daughter
other.
was infected, right? And it's just this really sad real life story that we just kind of get to glance at. We don't really get to interact with all that much, at least in this storyline. I don't know if Claire's will deviate a little bit more. But that's what we got. We can skip that part. But that's what we got. And so what we're left with that when we see it is there are real people out there with real lives, real stories that we're not just reading, we're actually seeing for once, which makes for a real big impact. Whereas most of the time it's like, no, Chris, we have to stop the tyrant virus. And it's kind of cheesy and it's kind of almost overplayed. But the fact that they started to add in more things like that, and that there's a slew of DLC with probably more stories about people being affected is really kind of cool.
City.
And it's less cheesy. Then again, some of the acting in this, or the voice acting and some of the timing and stuff is a little cheesy, which I occasionally make fun of a little bit. But I mean, honestly, this game feels like it stays very faithful to at least
Like we're walking from here.
the aesthetic of the 90s or late 90s, and like how a lot of the characters generally sounded more or less, and like now I'm interested to see what we do as Claire. Now that I've already got bit once, that's great.
Leon, you gotta back up. What the?
Holy shit.
Was he trying to get to a hospital?
Get out now!
Like, in what way?
Hold on!
I mean, he went from hitting someone to hitting a ton of people. I know circumstances changed, but how does he know who's a zombie? He's just hitting people left and right. Alright, Claire. Clariton. She's got a mouth on her. Oh, dang. She hit that car pretty hard.
Claire! Claire, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. How about you?
I can't stay here. It's not safe.
Oh shit. Go on ahead. I'll meet you at the station.
Alright. They healed us. How kind of them. Oh my. That was unintentional. It was not focusing on where I was going.
Can't stop. Gotta keep moving.
Oh, they basically, so they just kind of curve us. This is the same way Leon goes. They just kind
End
of
of the world.
curved us around. That's a similar phrase. Say the same things. Oh man. So this game,
Police station. Almost
almost
there.
there. I remember very little about this game, as I've said before, from my childhood. I didn't play this one as much as I played Resident Evil 1. Ah, are you serious? Are you serious? Oh. You get grabbed if we're not careful. Jeez. Again, I don't remember about as much of this game. There are very few things I do remember. But from what I do remember, it hits a lot of the same narrative points. But it really just adds so much to being third person, which I like that they found a way to do
Anybody here?
a third person survival horror. third-person survival horror, while still feeling like Resident Evil. At least the original Resident Evils, because Resident Evil 1 and 2, and I believe 3, I'm pretty sure, all had that fixed camera angles. And having third-person view obviously changes a lot, because you can see where you're going and shooting all the time. And you have a three-dimensional way of shooting instead of just up, down, and forward. You have a lot of angles and vectors in there. But the fact that they did third-person, and it wasn't Resident Evil 4 where it felt more like an action game, where there were some points where it was scary or it was filled you with a lot of anxiety. The game gave you the opportunity to can I find Marv? The game really lets you get in the character. Like, you feel a lot closer connected to the person and what they're doing. And you don't always feel like you have control of the situation because of that aspect. You're not you don't have a ton of weapons, and you're running in all gung-ho and whatnot. I didn't have to skip that. That was probably a bad idea, actually. I didn't meet anybody, but she probably just says the same things. We're not gonna save because I want to try it. And if we lose, we'll just quit for the whole night. It'll be over. Stream it off. Immediately. Done. Dunsies. Brownsy Panda. Gosh. Again, who would ever do this?
Great.
Oh, Claire.
Where are you?
Claire! I feel bad we've skipped that cutscene. Ugh, the completion. We're seeing everything. Anyway. But yeah, with a game that used to generally feel kind of silly at times, became very
Focus,
serious.
Focus.
The way they set things up, the lighting, this adding in the flashlight setup is really cool. It actually, I really feel bad when there is a moment where they have to turn on their flashlight, because I'm like, I have to leave this nice, well-lit area and have a little cone of vision. Not that you can't see where there isn't light, but you just feel worse when it's darker. It's just not great, you know. I like her pistol, actually. What's the description of this thing? 5-shot capacity, 9mm handgun. Its smaller capacity allows for its small size, making it extremely easy to handle. Okay, so it's easier in handling than Chris's gun, but less bullets, obviously, which is not fun. Again, gotta look down that scope. That's the safest thing to do when you're getting ready to use a firearm. Make sure it's loaded first. Take a look. Just with one eye. You don't need to try to just give it a solid look down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Open up! Hurry! Open up!
It'd be cool if we could actually save this guy.
Door!
I'm here!
Open the door! Hurry up! Hurry up! Open it!
Here, give me your hand!
Help me!
Hold on! Give me your other hand!
This is the grossest part. That's okay. This is the least helpful thing. I got you. Covered in blood. I'm sure he believes it. Jeez. I like that she feels more remorse than Leon does, where Leon's just freaking out, like, holy crap, this is awful. And she honestly feels like she added to the it was partially her fault. Alright. I've been training. I know what to do, I think. Luckily he's dumb. I thought there was stuff over there. Oh, it's under him. Same bullets that Chris uses. Ain't that lucky. I get everything in here. Good. So, one thing about at least the tutorialization of this game, gosh dang it, is that it was going to be a good example if they actually did what I wanted them to do. But actually, I think it was my fault that that didn't work out. So what that moment right there does really well is it teaches you how the zombies work, which kind of the original games didn't do as well. Which is, zombies will just walk towards you and they will want to grab at you. Which is pretty obvious. In a video game world, and creating an accessible video game, you want to show how to fight them. And one of the ways is shooting them. Great. Which they kind of have you, or allow you to do in the beginning.
Thanks.
Here, though,
someone taught you well.
real quick, just so I don't have to talk over it and work about sound balancing later. What they do here, though, is they show you, hey, there's going to be times where running is probably a lot better than shooting. And the great thing that they do is they say, there's a guy that comes in. You probably have very few bullets because we haven't given you any since the gas station or when you started, honestly. So you have like 5 bullets. You know that it takes a lot of bullets. And it doesn't look good. If you stand behind this desk, it's going to just lean over it and try and grab at you, and it's going to be all awkward, and you're going to have the chance to run around it. Great. I didn't really learn that at first. I just kind of tried to shoot it and what have you. But if you stand behind that desk, he's going to flop over it. Next, you're running away. You're going back from the way you came. You learn 2 things about Resident Evil at that very moment, at least specifically about this one and all of them in general. Actually, you kind of learn that this whole part that we played is something that you'll learn, is that number 1, when you get an item, when you get something new and you retread ground, or you're going to a new place, either way, you get that little booklet, you get the key, what have you, new things are going to show up almost every time. That's how the game goes. So you will retrieve something, and then doesn't matter if you've come from a way that was perfectly clean and clear before, something showed up. But the other thing they do that's really cool with that press room is they give you a nice long table with 2 ways to walk around. And the idea is you got to get them to come to you, and you can run around the table, and you can totally dodge them, even though there's 2 of them. You couldn't shoot both. And, you know, it just works out really well. It's really cool. It's a really smart way of telling you, hey, the zombies can be kind of slow. They can kind of lunge at you, but if you can get some space, put an object between you and them, you can kite them, you can, corral them and stuff. Great, awesome. That's a perfect teaching moment for showing you generally how they work. What I did, though, is just stand behind the table when I should have been to one side, so they both came that way, and then I would have had the perfect loop around. I used a bullet to stun one. It's fine. It's fine. But I love that. I like that Resident Evil from before, it was just like, here's a zombie. You have a gun. Go for it. Or what have you, in the originals. There's more to it now. You have more to think about. Which is why something I did like about Resident Evil 4 and 5, not that I played any of Resident Evil 4, but I know this is kind of when they generally introduced it. Not that it's in this game for some reason, but you could shoot people in the leg, or the kneecap or what have you, and they would fall over or something like that. They'd either fall over or stumble. And the cool thing was that it was really helpful because you could run by people. You could pop a few in the leg instead of hitting them in the head and trying to kill them, like slowly, because sometimes you only have pistol ammo. And that would just allow you to just keep moving. And I think in this game they wanted you to have a little bit more confrontation, which is kind of the idea, I think, behind making people need to take the headshots to kill them. Claire's coat's really cool.
So nobody knows what caused this?
Red leather's pretty legit.
There's a lot of theories, but all I know for sure is that this place is crawling with zombies.
Yeah, you're telling me.
They call them zombies. Cool. It's not The Walking Dead. They call them
Keep that
zombies.
on, just in case.
Just in case. Gonna radio us.
I'm not gonna be around long. Once I find Chris, we're out of here.
You really Chris's sister?
Oh.
Yeah. Why? Did you find something?
He's on vacation. Europe, I think. Left weeks ago.
Oh.
Vacation? It's great news.
Well, I've
He's
got
not
more for
here.
you. Looks like there might be a way out through this secret passageway.
Can you not blow up the book so much? He did it last time. I hate
We
it.
should probably get you to a hospital.
Oh, forget about me. I can take care of myself.
No, don't be ridiculous. You're gonna need some help.
Listen, Claire. Save yourself. So you can see your brother again. Now, you'll probably need this.
No, I'm not taking that. You're gonna...
And be careful.
Doesn't even look like he could swing a knife. I don't think
You
he
see one of
really
these
needs it.
No matter who they were, you can't hesitate. Take them out if you can. Or you run.
I like that he didn't make the distinction uniform or not, just because Leon was going to be a cop, and so he's like, doesn't matter if they were going to be your comrades. Now it's just like, just take them out. Claire doesn't have any affiliations other than Chris as her brother. My wife. Slashes. Oh, I didn't pick it up. There we go. Can't aim at him. Can put him out of his misery. Alright. Alright, Claire. Claire. Let's save just for my my cold dead heart. So I'm not careful, I will let you die like a savage that I am. Terrible at video games, but I love the video games. It's always a good time. I'm taking a moment to look, texting my friends. I was talking to a few of my friends, and then they, honestly, right before I streamed, they just stopped. So that's honestly worked out, but I mean, they didn't respond. I was actually talking to a friend of mine who gave me another Windows activation key because I was tired of trying to figure out how to make my old one work. Because I loosely mentioned, again, this is the pinball topic talking, like, again, I completely forgot that I was talking about fixing my computer and changing things around. My Windows activation key stopped working because they're like, hey, you know, this key's already been used, because for some reason they hardware bind it to your motherboard, which is kind of garbage because of the fact that people are going to switch motherboards. I guess there's a little bit of a system to make it work, but since I think you have to have your computer registered on Microsoft, whatever the butt, and I didn't. So basically, it just wasn't working out, and I really didn't feel like calling anybody about this because tech support is always awful. I've worked on it; it's rough, but yeah, so I was just looking through different methods, and I was talking to my old boss about it, and he offered me a free key, and that's awesome. My old boss, is like the coolest guy, good friend of mine, and he let me have another Windows activation key, so that's awesome. Because when you are in the field of IT, you come across a lot of things, and he had nice fresh key for me, which is excellent. Okay, are we under the... No, we're under the lion, right? So lion, fig thingy bird. That's what all normal people say. It's my favorite thing. Perfect. Lion medallion. It's actually what they used to call me in high school. Don't tell anyone. Alright. She actually fully uses the stairs. Beautiful. Alright. So wait, we had bloody footprints. Is that because we got hurt before? Or is that just because we stepped in, like, his blood?
Yeah, we're not out of here yet.
Anyways, I do get an occasional little stutter. Probably turn the graphics up one too many. But it's usually pretty smooth. Also, I learned from last time that I really need to check each corner, because I keep I usually end up missing something. This is the gross part. Claire.
Who's there?
Not him. I wonder, since Claire gets the heart key, I wonder if she doesn't get the clover key. We're gonna book it because we don't have things that I want and or need. Okay. Training station to temporary shelter. Yeah, we read this. Refugees, mob attack station. 12 people died, only a handful of survivors. David Ford. Awesome. Map of first floor. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, we got everything. This is still chained up. Kosher. Cool, cool, cool. Tight, tight, tight. Oh man, oh man. So this game, I think, does a great job of doing horror. I think they definitely did a great job, you know, just adding in a lot of different things that they couldn't in the past. Was it 3 and 2 are gone, so we can do 106, 106, 109. Really? Come on. See, I was gonna say I don't even need to take out the chubby one, but now they're all just gonna be a problem, aren't they? Frick, come on this side, please. Oh, you're kidding me. Dang it. Oh, I even tried to make you stutter. You fool. Alright, fine. Enjoy your lives in there. Gunpowder. Sit. And eat. What's this guy's name again? Oh yeah, it's... This one. MR. Someone's awake. Oh, no, G. Merge. The last time for him it was like a speed loader. Ooh, that sounds nice. For him they had an extended clip, which I find funny for like it's the cops, you know, first day, and it's like, we're gonna give you more bullets. You're gonna need these. This is Raccoon City after all. Greatly decreases reload time. That's great because this thing was taking a hot minute before. And I don't often say hot minute because it sounds stupid. Ooh. Oh man, I did get got. Thought I was gonna be okay at that one. Guess not. It's okay. I wonder how long it takes before you die at this level, because I know they said that you will die if you don't heal yourself while you're in critical condition. I would be interested to see how long that takes. Not that I want to do it like right this moment or anything, but yeah. Okay. Oh. Files contain evidence. Do not leave out. Wonder if I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Not for realsies, but like just a little bit with all these zombies. I guess just got trailing me now. I guess it would be wise to take out a couple of them, but I feel like if I don't need to, maybe I shouldn't. At least since I don't need to immediately. Or maybe that's just a bad idea. Maybe I'm going about this all wrong.
Seriously?
Awesome. Good stuff, Claire. Good stuff, Claire. Doing great. So this actually brings me to a topic I've wanted to talk about for a little bit, which is the puzzles in these games. So the puzzles in Resident Evil are interesting, mainly because, oh, there we go. They always, at least, oh gosh, now I forgot which way. All right, I need to actually do this before I start talking. Okay. There. Nope. I have a terrible memory. It's fine. My wife will attest. Terrible memory. There we go. Damn it. Don't I have a terrible memory?
No.
I feel like I do. Oh. Dang it. Dang it. Well, if we start with that, then maybe we can't forget it this time. There we go. Alright, so puzzles. So this safe is obviously not the most complicated puzzle. It is easily brute forceable. It's basically meant to be brute forced. Because wow, flame rounds. We're gonna go full on grenade launcher like Jill. Release the body. Alright. I think that's everything. Everything that can reach, at least. So puzzles. Easily brute forceable, that one. The doors in and of themselves, in a way, are kind of like a puzzle. Each door has a theme, or a themed kind of thing. Obviously, in the first game, it was just, helmet, armor, sword, shield. This game, it is all different, sorry, this person. All different suits of cards. I forget what this one was. It was something. Not that important. I can figure it out later. There we go. But when we comparing puzzles, so maybe the original Resident Evil 2, I hate these things. Maybe the original Resident Evil 2 is a little bit different. But in this game, compared to the first game, and it's remastered, because the remaster of Resident Evil 1 is like, it is like almost like a perfect, like, this is just what happened story-wise completely. Almost the exact same layout. They added a few puzzles, a few new enemies and things like that, but for the most part it's really close to each other. Whereas this game feels and has a lot of new stuff, and it's arranged in a lot of different ways. But the puzzles have huge difference, because in this game, the puzzles are slightly more believable, in a sense, where, I mean, let's take the last time when we were playing as Leon and we're in the sewer, and you have the electrician, playful electrician, sewer electrician guy who's like, we're gonna make pawns and knights and all these sorts of spark plugs with a chess theme. It makes no sense. Like, no one in their right mind would have a thing like this. You don't need that. It is a good excuse for a logic puzzle, sure. In a sense, it is almost like an abstraction of maybe a more complicated real life issue where we need a certain amount of spark plugs or something like that. And obviously it's a video game. It's supposed to be fun, and you're supposed to make you feel smart, and that you can do cool things. But in a way, it's kind of abstractly like, well, we have a power problem, we need new parts, and we need to put them together in such a way that they'll work. And this is just a video game way of doing it. Whereas in the other game, it's like, okay, there are two statues, and they need to look in certain directions. And when they look in a certain direction, you need to stop a wind power vane thing, or whatever you call it. One of those wind spinning things that tells you which way the wind's blowing. You need to stop that on the right direction, and then a gate will open, because that makes sense. In this game, you get the Magnum by getting a USB dongle that authenticates a password so that you can open up an armory. In the last game, we put a bunch of pentagon-shaped crests into a tombstone, and that opened up to reveal that there was just a Magnum embedded in this mechanical revolving door in the gravestone, which is absurd. A lot of the stuff in the first game feels like, like the Indiana Jones uncovering ancient, puzzles and stuff. The mansion is just like a madman's dream. It's great. And it's fun, and it's cool, and you feel cool when you figure out the response or the answers to the puzzles and the traps, because there's lots of traps. Whereas now we're in a museum, and I mean, I guess there's some sense to the mansion from the first game being, lots of puzzles and lock and key, because they wanted to keep secrets and things. Whereas here, everything is very realistic, to the point of like the police, and it's a police station, even though it was a museum, so you have all these logical keys to lock kind of puzzles. Whereas there is a statue that needs an arm and a book in it, and it's like stuff that's left over from the museum, which might have weird kind of National Treasure-esque things, which is kind of cool. They can kind of combine that, and it's somewhat believable, and it's kind of good like that. But the fact that there is just some random office, again, putting crests into statues and what have you, you go underground, there's a hidden office which leads to this huge power generator room that no one really knows about, but someone would have to upkeep. And then you end up in the parking lot, of all places, of the police station, where the guy who's like, I found the secret way out, as he's coming from the general area of where the parking lot is. It's just, and when you get down to where the parking lot is, there was no giant thing in the way. There was no issue, unless one of the doors was locked. I mean, I guess the power was out. And there was an electrically locked door. If that was the main issue, and they were gonna go and use this mysterious, ancient, hidden museum door to get to their own parking lot, I don't know. I have a hard time stretching that a little bit. But the puzzles are fun and enjoyable. It's just so interesting that how they can have that mix where it's a police station, so there's realistic things, but there's also some weird kind of little kooky National Treasure, man. There's a map on the back of the Declaration of Independence kind of puzzles. It makes it fun. It's an adventure. It's supposed to be fun, but it is kind of funny. So this is one of the papers that we actually missed on our first way through. So it says, to any survivors, consider this a gift for anyone still unfortunate enough to be alive. Keep your eyes peeled for those creepy Fs, because I am a friendly stream, more or less, that look like they were skinned alive. Lickers, we call them. They're blind as bats. It's highlighted in green. But their hearing more than makes up for that. So long as you don't run around like a total idiot, guns a-blazing, you should be able to slip right by them, probably. Either way, make like grandma and creep around as slow as possible around them. Yeah. Anyway, not that I want to go, but duty calls. That, and I've got a friend to avenge, David. So yeah, we missed that the first time. I was able to kind of intuit how they worked just from what we saw and heard. I'm almost full up on space. But the game, in and of itself, does a good job telegraphing what you need to know. Be back up here, but I just want to make sure I get what I want and need. I already know he's gonna fall. Shouldn't be freaked out. But I get freaked out. I don't know, I think I'm easy to scare at this point. The C4, we need a detonator. But yeah, this guy who killed all these killed all these poor people in here. People aren't stupid, he was stupid. But anyway, yeah, this game is so much fun. Spade key, we have spade key, yes. Like, I find it immensely enjoyable. Kind of want to grab the barricades and we'll be back up here at some point. But this game, I feel like I could do multiple playthroughs. I don't know if I'm not always the speedrunner kind of guy. Gonna fall or not? Not necessarily the speedrun kind of guy.
Claire,
but I could see myself wanting to try it.
how fast can you get back here?
Why? What's up?
I've got something to show you.
It's
It's
important.
important.
All right, I'm on my way.
So while oh, that was a whiff. Double whiff.
Shit!
I like that she's as foul-mouthed as Leon. Again, I don't blame them. It's just funny. The book. I have enough space for the book. It's fine. We'll get to it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the puzzles in this game are fun. They're kind of kooky at times. But it leads me to talking about another video game, which we'll get to in a sec here. Once we figure out this. He types real well sideways while not looking, doesn't he?
What is it?
Claire!
Oh my god, he made it!
Leon!
Know him?
Yeah, it's Leon. Kennedy, I think?
The rookie. Thought he looked familiar. You can make it to that courtyard. The second floor, east side.
Okay. Thanks, Marvin. I'm on it.
You're not looking too good, Marvin. There's a few things we can do before we go save Leon here. Open this thing first of all. I don't know if I need the... No, I still do. So Capcom, people who made Resident Evil, also made Dino Crisis. I know I've mentioned Dino Crisis a few times on stream. Dino Crisis is a game I would love to play on stream, even though it is only really... I don't know if they ever made a PC version of it at all. I mean, you could probably emulate it, of course. Good old emulators.
Turns a museum into a police station.
Exactly, but Albert Wesker more than likely. Not the second here. Book for the statue, we can grab that. Dino Crisis, also made by Capcom. And I have a lot of love for Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis 1 anyway. I played Dino Crisis 1 a lot. I only saw some gameplay of Resident Evil, or I can words, of Dino Crisis 2. And while it kept the same character, which makes me happy, and it kind of kept going with the same story in a sense, it got rid of completely the survival horror aspect, and it was just like you basically dropped into an area and dinosaurs would come in and you'd shoot them, and you'd get a stage cleared, and they would tell you how many things you shot and how well you shot them and how much you got hurt. It was just a grading system, and it was just like, okay, it's very arcadey, which arcade stuff isn't bad. It's just that wasn't the point of that was never the point of Dino Crisis. It was survival horror, so it was literally just, what was that sound? That's weird. Oh, it's the helicopter and all the zombies and everything. But it was just supposed to be Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs, which is really cool. Also, I love in this game you can combine things before you pick them up fully, just so you can do things like this and not have to save an entire spot. Here you go, Claire. It's all you. Oh, there's a button, yeah. Okay, so now I got the gem. Alright, we need to come back for you. Alright. But the reason I love Dino Crisis so much was Dino Crisis, again, same idea, just with dinosaurs. Dino Crisis, all of its puzzles were based in very realistic things, and all of them were, even though they're obviously solvable, brute forceable puzzles, like you're trying to like hack doors, keypads, and other things, a lot of it was generally just abstraction, you know? It's like you're not actually hacking something right now. In a sense, it's all make-believe, which is what video games are. No, we're not gonna save because I'm stubborn. But it was all very realistic. It had a little bit of a science fiction-y twist. Obviously, there's dinosaurs. It's basically Jurassic Park up in there. But what it did better than Resident Evil, I think, was a few things. So number one, dinosaurs felt a lot more fun to fight, partially because of the fact that they were dinosaurs, and they run around, and they move more, and they feel more dangerous, whereas in this game, sometimes you can literally just shoot a zombie, stun it, and run by it, and it's all gravy, no problems. Whereas with dinosaurs, they don't care. They take bullets, and they run at you, and they grab you by the arm, pick you up, and like shake you around and stuff. There's lots of different enemy types, and it was really cool. And they had a little bit more of an explanation for why you're able to switch items around so well. Because obviously in Resident Evil we have this chest, right? The magical chest that everything just kind of, there's just a secret tunnel that everything funnels through. And hello boys. Well, some of you gotta die today, I'm sorry. I don't make the rules, this is how it is. Man, you ugly. But they had this system where there were these safety deposit boxes, and they had different colors. And so safety deposit boxes of the same color could transfer items between each other. And there were these just things that were installed into the wall, and it made some sense because like it was an actual electronic device that you can feed things into, and things would be able to be transferred through some sort of system in the complex that you're in. And this place is like a pretty high-tech complex because, I mean, we make dinosaurs, so obviously there's a little bit of belief compared to we just have a chest that looks exactly the same and it's in a bunch of different places and it just has everything in it. It's fine. Where'd he go? He hardcore gave up. Alright. Or not. Does he have my knife? No, my knife is in another man's chest. I went to go talk to the chief. It's fine. Sometimes we all need to go talk to the chief. Dang it, bro. Oh, that's not the way I wanted to go. Well, that's double not the way I wanted to go. Well, we got him looking after us. I'm wasting less ammo than I normally would, so that's good. He came right in, didn't he? What's the number I want? 2? Or 3? I think 2 is usually better, yeah. Or 1, excuse me. We're just gonna kill you. Because I hate you right now. Oh, that was a bad one. Gosh dang it, Leroy. I don't have my knife. Gosh. It's always Chunky Boy. Maybe I really should have stabbed you to death. My favorite phrase. Yeah, 203 for that, so... I'm thinking 3. I think that's what I did last time, too. It gives you pistol ammo, so... Is 109 one as well? I think. Oh, I can get a shotgun as well. Can I not? Yay! Shamblers, Ollie. Oh, we don't get the shotgun. We get a grenade launcher right off. Ain't that cool? The grenade launcher is capable of firing flame and acid rounds. Like we're Jill freaking Valentine. So my question is, are these flame or acid? Well, the answer is flame. That really did a number on him. I really just wanted to see how well it would work. And he gets fully back up. Would have liked to have gotten both of them with that grenade round, but... Alright, buddy. Dang, I have no bullets. Alright. Hopefully that's the last of you. We can do this. 1 grenade at a time. Wait, what's in this guy? Oh, Kniff. We'll come back for the Kniff. Alright, oh, we got this area generally cleared out. Goodness. That was some work, wasn't it? Reorganize some things here. We've been going for a little while without a break. Have we not? Have we not? We can take a quick break here. Yep. I already did that. This is the fun about doing these games again. When you generally know what you're doing, because you have the ability to do things a lot quicker. All right, let's take a real quick break. Already spent 40 minutes. Don't know how well that is for obviously not trying to be a super speedrunner, but for just generally knowing something going somewhat fast. Okay, when we come back, we'll play a little bit more Claire's story. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about Dino Crisis. There's a few other things about it that I actually wanted to mention. Again, I get distracted. All right, but when we come back, we'll play a little bit more.